Hi, intrepid viewers. How are you going? Well, it's Saturday night for most of you, Sunday morning for me. So one of the things I'm looking forward to when I'm traveling is I'm hoping I'll be in more friendly time zones. So that will make a change. All right, guys. So it's been a big week all round, and Florida. How about DeSantis refusing to meet with Joe Biden? Okay, that's a governor refusing to meet with the President of the United States. It's just spitting in the face of convention and how things are done. It's shocking in its rudeness, not a political thing. It's just rude, you know. Like, how dare he? And of course, people are saying, we want FEMA money. You would, like just a truly awful, poisonous person. I think he's got the soul of a piranha or something. No disrespect to piranhas. I'm sure they have their place in the biosphere, but you know what I mean. Just awful. Okay, but we're not going to read on DeSantis. So, Mark Meadows. Mark Meadows. Now, he's trying to take this defense that, oh, look, things were very hectic in the White House. I was just doing my job and other people were doing these things. No, I think you'll find, Pet, that your job description does not include the overthrow of democracy. No. And a judge has thrown it out as a defense. So we should all celebrate that. So let's look what's coming down the pike for Mark Meadows. He was always trying to play both ends against the middle, right? He let his staff submit all this stuff, knowing it would end here. So what's really going on in Mark Meadows' brain? Ooh, that won't be pretty, but I do want to have a look. What does Mark Meadows think is going on with his case? Oh, what fell out? Oh, the King of Cups, Biden. Okay. Mark Meadows, what does he think's going on? What does he think's going on? Oh, oh, the rest of my cards are upside down, so it's the King of Cups reversed. Okay, this is a different story. Interesting, guys. I've started getting reversals. I've been shuffling the same way I've been shuffling for 40 years, no reversals. Now I keep getting them. So, wow. Okay, so we got Biden flew out of the pack, but reversed, meaning I think Meadows is thinking he knows he was there. And part of overturning the White House, kind of literally, excuse me, kind of literal. He knows what he did. He realizes he's got two big cards, that it was an extremely foolish act. Well, quelle surprise, these people are they're in a hermetically sealed world where they only hear from each other, and they don't think anymore. Even if they started off with a working brain, it leaves them once they've been in the company of the Yeti for 2 weeks. They seem incapable of independent thought. But he knows he's screwed up. He knows there are more secrets to be discovered. This is worrying him, I think, because he knows what they've got already in all these investigations. He knows that. He submitted massive amounts of paperwork, but he knows there's more. But also, the hermit showing the light. I think, because he knows justice is coming down on his sorry ass, I think this will be part of a plea deal. He'll give up more. He'll show them where to find more. We're not talking a smoking gun here. We're talking a fully armed, AR-15 assault weapon he's got here. He's going to shine light on it. I think he's going to be key. He's going to, front of house, keep fighting for delays and all this stuff. Yeah. Yawn. Eating up the public money. He's going to keep doing that. But he knows his goose is cooked, or he knows his Yeti is barbecued or something. He knows something more. Okay. All right. Now, a judge has ruled that banks and insurers can't hide their paperwork on the Yeti and the demon spawn. If you're new to this channel, that is a code name for his 3 adult children. Right. Let's just remind ourselves, none of them have worked in the real world. I think Don Jr. was a bartender for 4 hours or something back in the 80s. But in real life, they have not worked. They've never been accountable to a boss or a board or co-workers or anything. They've only worked in the family business. And the family business is grift. Hogarth came up with a beauty today. He said, Trump will be grifting from the grave. And it's probably true. So the point about all that is this is the case where it's about Trump's dealings in New York. It's coming up next month. And the banks and insurers have been told, we want to see the paperwork. We know what that paperwork's about. It's about depressing the value of something here and increasing and inflating the value there. And that's all the business is run on. Just outrunning the people you owe money to. Just run faster and then fleece someone else to fund your next corrupt project. It's quite a simple business model, really, isn't it? Totally. So now they have to hand over the paperwork. What is this going to mean for this court case in New York? Because so far, the demon spawn haven't been actually held liable. What's going to happen? Let's have a look. Okay. That's going to work for sure. All right. Yeah, right. Okay. They've got a bit going on. Okay. The first card, Queen of Wands. I think this, speaking of beyond the grave, I think this is Ivana, the mother of dragons, the one who was buried in record-breaking time. Remember? They broke the land speed record burying the ex-wife and their mother. I think this is Ivana. Okay, now, the universe having a little smile here. This is the Apprentice card. But what it's implying is they learned everything from their father. And that is what families do. Good, bad, or ugly, they are a huge part of forming who you are and your values, or in this family's case, the lack of values. Okay. But this, I think, is the adults. I don't like calling them children because they're middle-aged now. So let's call them as they are, Eric, Don Jr., and, of course, the hard-working Ivanka. You all know what I think about Ivanka being the patron of working women. Someone who has babysitters and drivers and pool attendants and gardeners and cleaners and cooks. but she knows what it's like to be a working mom. She'd know. Anyway, here they all are out in the cold. Now, behind this could be one of them or even two allied against the other or something like that. It's funny with this case. I think that this is generally hinting at things being exposed. So the banks and insurance companies are going to expose this. I think there's then going to be a horse race because we've got the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands. So who is going to sabotage who, right? So is it the kids throwing their father under the Humvee or the other way round? But in any event, the family will never be the same again after this particular court case, right? So this is an intergenerational thing here. But why I think it's more likely to be the demon spawn is they are going to say, we were told to do this. This is how we ran the business because he was the CEO. He wanted to be the King of Wands. We were just players. You know, we can show how bossy he was. Just look at Michael Cohen's testimony and stuff like that. We couldn't help it. I mean, please spare me. Oh, I can't bear it. So this is going to be, and I think that's why Ivana turned up. She's even on the other side. It's like she knows they will tear each other apart. She knew that when she was around. And she's not happy. Okay, so that's that. Now, before we get to the juicy developments in the Jack Smith case, I'm just going to have another quick look at Giuliani because he's in so many court cases. He hasn't got time to change his socks in between court cases, right? It's starting to catch up with him. My question is, you know, he's got the how he demonized those electoral workers. He's been found guilty. He's going to pay a huge amount of money, except he's going to say he doesn't have it. When are they going to start making them sell their penthouses to pay these debts? You know, like, let's have a look at that. Giuliani's finances. Giuliani's finances. Because apparently he spent the last 20 years saying, oh, my wives have cleaned me out and moan. Giuliani's finances. And if people could let me know in the comments, if he tries to declare bankruptcy, what happens? Does that mean his assets have to be sold or not? I want to have a look here. But let me know. Okay, Giuliani's finances. Oh, there's some money somewhere that he's not talking about. Okay. Here's the story as I see it. It starts off, excuse me, with the star, always a good card, hope and inspiration, all that. He's still hopeful he can get out of this. That's how deluded this man is. He still thinks he'll get out of it. This is the sword of truth or the cutting through the crap card, right? I think there's going to be, probably is, a team of people anticipating this because, yes, he's going to say he's bankrupt, but he hasn't told the truth. This is he's got things that are squirreled away, probably with relatives and things. I think he only gets on with one of his children and the others don't talk to him. Or it's not pretty. But he thinks he'll be all right. He'll declare bankruptcy and he thinks he'll be okay. But he'll be delivered an ultimatum. Either you do divulge it all and hand it over to pay for your legal bills as well as the debts you're incurring because you were a selfish egomaniac. You've got to do this because King of Pentacles here, I'm thinking, is the tax man. Why would we think for 1 minute Giuliani's taxes are up to date? And I think this could be another of those Al Capone things. We're going to see stuff about Giuliani's finances, that he's got millions, that he hasn't got a cent. Oh, here are some more millions. Oh, whoops, they're gone. I think it'll end up with an IRS issue. Oh, my God. Okay. Now, Jack Smith now has the texts and emails, or the texts particularly. Remember when 500,000 texts or something went missing from the Secret Service? From the Secret Service. They're supposed to be guarding these secrets. They're supposed to have the best hackers in the world. And they obviously employed them. That had to be a thing. Okay, but they've found a treasure trove of them in the last few days. So, oops, how does this affect the case? What is in these messages? Because apparently there's connections between the Secret Service and the insurrectionists. So this has to be sorted out. This has to be, talk about drain the swamp. This is the ultimate swamp. Oh. Now, Secret Service agencies everywhere are their own thing, but this was a whole new ball game, I think. So let's have a look how this will impact. Will it lead to other cases? What's going on with this? Jack Smith's new information and the Secret Service. Oh, Jack Smith isn't finished. Oh. Another reversal. This is really, really, really weird. Okay. Let's check it out. Now, 3 of Wands, traditionally waiting for the ships to come in. But I think it's also Jack Smith is floating more boats out. I think this is a two-way thing. He's waiting for more and he's put the feelers out because however they found these documents has revealed to the Justice Department and presumably the FBI. Sorry, I've got a croaky throat. So they've now got the potential for finding even more. Broken heart, and I have to say it's a bit of a sword in the heart for Americans who care about their country. I think these revelations that are coming up, when we think we're shock-proof, I think there's going to be more shocks that go to the heart of what happened on January 6th. You know, I think just as the other cases are winding up and these guys are getting giant sentences, just as that's all happening, this is the beginning for this case. This is Jack Smith going forward. Will I combine these cases? Will I build it into my January 6th case coming up for March 24? Or is it a separate case? It's a two. Will he go this way or that way? I don't think he's made a final decision on that. What will be revealed is the false knight that was presented to the American people. And this is the clandestine support for an insurrection in January 20. America, please turn heartache into action, okay? This is not a helpful emotion. I mean, absorb it if it happens. I might be wrong, but if it happens, absorb it, rise above it, like the angel, and demand change. That heads should roll, and not just 2 or 3 heads. More heads should roll. This is hopefully the American people standing up finally to reclaim what is a major part of the democratic reality. This is how democracies operate. And so this is absolutely essential. I'm hoping this is a positive. Okay, I'm hoping. All right, guys, now I'm off for now. I'll pop this up and then I'll be back in a few days. I've still got a few more videos to make for you before I leave, and I will be making them when I'm away. Don't worry. People seem to think I'm disappearing. No, I haven't left yet, and I take you guys with me. So it's all good, okay? So take care for now and see you next time. Ciao.